Oh, here goes the record. Here goes the record. And now you are live.
There we go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Tales from the Barside. It must be a Monday night. All of our friends, all of our colleagues, all of our racontours and roustabouts.
It's the weekend.
It is the weekend. Well,
the bartender weekend.
It's a bartender weekend on Monday. Welcome. I'm your host, Remy. This is my co-host, Lauren.
Hi.
The lovely Lauren. She's got her lovely friend, Ava, with us.
This
Say
is
hi,
Ava.
So
Good
excited.
stuff. So
What are you drinking? First and foremost.
A little bit of beer.
What kind of beer?
We got a Tasty Crisp IPA on tap tonight.
Aw, shit.
And yourself? What are you sipping on there, ladies?
I've got some Merlot. She's got margarita. A canister.
I have a canister of margarita. I am not playing games today.
I'm with it.
She's celebrating getting a new job.
I am celebrating.
Hooray, congrats, you got a new job.
I have cut loose from Barside.
You're done.
After 25 years, I'm throwing the towel in.
Mic drop. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You're cool.
You're cool.
I'm out.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the new job, Ava. You seem like an awesome personality that anybody would love to come to your bar. So we're going to miss you. And I say that on behalf of bartenders everywhere. We're going to miss you.
So,
you're always welcome to come back.
On behalf of all the bartenders in the world, you know how it goes. We leave, but we always come back.
Always.
Oh,
you can never really get out of bartending.
It's like being a smoker.
I kind of want to.
Nobody quits. They just take breaks.
Or on competition, maybe. Because I've done some competitions. I'm really heavy into mixology and like high-end liquors and wine. I actually want to do a sommelier just for shits and giggles. So I still have my passions. Do not ever get that twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
But I'm going to go pursue a job at a veterinary hospital as a veterinary assistant. And I love animals. I study medicine. I'm going to school for nursing. So yeah, I need a little bit less chaos so I can focus on my nursing. And that was the way for me to do that. But with that, let's get into some bar stories.
Yeah, bar stories.
I love the way you're thinking. I love the way you're pursuing your dreams, too. It's like, you don't have to do this forever. You can do it for 25, 30 years and then get out of it. It's fine. It's okay. That's whatever your path is in life. It's your path, not anybody else's. So to the people who are like, oh, it's a good college job, but I wouldn't do it for a career. Like, whatever. Maybe it's not for you, but for somebody else, it's perfect.
40.
Right. And then for somebody who does it forever and ever and ever, and then it's finally like, oh my God, I found my calling. Here it is. Thanks for the ride and the memories and the stories, but I'm going to peace out now. That's, that's what's great about this job. You can always come back to it. You can always leave it. Nobody's going to shoot you in the face for it, Hopefully.
Well, I think also with the COVID and all of this going on, it's kind of an easy exit for me. So currently I am employed by Peas and Carrots. I work at Social in Birmingham. I'm quitting. They don't know that yet.
They do now.
Surprise! Deuces! They're going to know tomorrow.
The social team, honestly, in 25 years of bartending and serving, I have never seen a staff that we have too much fun together. We're such a family. Peas and Carrots has been a really great company to work for and end my career on. And I might keep my availability open
a little bit
here and there.
Just a scotch. You never know.
I like money,
Exactly. Fast money is what it really comes down to. It's fast money and
cash.
It's
It's cash.
Right.
I walk out with $150. Have a good night. See you later. I
work a day, pay a bill. It's like.
Great. Do I want to do it 5 nights a week? No.
Yeah.
No, that's a 10-4. It sounds like you had some amazing times at Peas and Carrots. It sounds like you had some amazing coworkers too. That's
Everything's opening, and that I know Lauren and I talked, and we're kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
It's rabbit season. It's duck season. It's COVID season. It's protest season.
Carrots has actually changed their logo from Relentless Hospitality. Now it's Relentless Safety and Relentless Hospitality.
Of course, because in these uncertain times.
So in the we have this lady that works for us, and we're not corporate, but she's kind of like corporate. She has that mentality. Her name is Susan Mueller. And anybody that's watching that might work for any of the Peas and Carrots restaurants, very familiar with that name. But she went. I guess there was a staff meeting that I did not attend. But it was an hour and a half of her rambling about safety precautions. So I guess we're doing like touchless service. So we have to wear gloves. We have to wear a mask. But everybody who's eating and stuff isn't wearing a mask or gloves.
Right.
And somehow social's allowed to be at 78% instead of 50.
Right.
I wonder what the stipulations are for that. Like how many
So-
people can be inside of a place depending on like where it's located or what kind
We're
of
in
place.
uncharted waters, pirates.
Yeah.
It's like,
So these people-
everybody grab an oar and let's paddle to the shore.
Right.
There's a little secret. So like I have a text message, and this is all of us. This is everybody on the fucking social, all of us. All of the servers, all of the bartenders are on, all the bar backs are all on this.
Mhm.
Right.
This shit goes off. I wake up to like 25 messages every goddamn day from them. They don't even start messaging until like midnight. Meanwhile, I gotta be up and go to work.
Oh, I hate that.
So it's cool.
I thought the only people who use group messages were like your old aunts and uncles. Like, isn't that a rule?
This group message.
The
You've got to
last
be a boomer to
place I
still
worked
use
at,
group.
they were doing like we did group Facebook, like Facebook groups instead. And I think we used Hot Schedules for like our scheduling app, and I loved that because I could release a shift and somebody could pick it up, and then a manager sees it immediately and can like accept it or not.
Exactly.
Love that.
I use that. That is a great app.
Yeah, Hot
Streamlined.
Schedules is awesome.
It's got to be streamlined because like if everybody is just replying to messages back and forth and everybody gets a notification
They're
every
talking
time.
about their socks.
It's
They're bitching
annoying.
about their balls wearing jeans while they're running from the villa to the upstairs.
Like, bro, nobody cares.
And Canadian tuxedos was
Send that in a personal message. You don't have to like send that to a group.
Right. Exactly.
And then you have the people that are like, loved this message. And like,
yeah.
there's like 5 of those. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. My phone's going off. Stop it.
I know. I feel like there should be like a time frame that you're allowed to text about work-related things, and if it's not work-related, it goes to a completely different folder.
The problem is you can't opt out of it because then you're not getting the messages.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Exactly.
I need to know some stuff, but not all this stuff.
I will singularly go through and block every phone number off this list.
I don't want to talk to you
For real.
anymore. I'm not your friend.
Just stop messaging me.
I am concerned about like things opening up and everything. I had a couple people ask me if I like was going to like go work at another place since my bar is not opening.
What?
Right.
Yeah, my bar is
your bar
not
not
opening. So from what I understand, he just wants to like feel it out first, see what's going on before we actually open.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people are on unemployment and everything, so he's trying to like let them get some like recoup of like the money that they've lost and everything like that. So that's awesome. But I don't know like what it's going to be like when we do open, considering that's a nightclub setting. So it's like anybody that comes in a group can be in a group, but everyone else has to stay away from each other. And it's like, how do you keep people from doing that at a nightclub?
No touching.
Hey, yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you tell people don't dance with other people, or like everyone has to dance in front of
Don't hit on the hot girl over there.
Right. You're not allowed to go talk to her. Bro, the COVID. You're not allowed to talk to her. Sorry.
Right. And it's like, you know, what she was saying with like the touchless, you know, serving or whatever. It's like, how is it supposed to be touchless? Do you have to change your gloves every time that you like bring anything out to someone, or like?
I mean, honestly, all service should be.
And, like, toss it.
You have to trade them. This is what's in the video.
Pick your own shots.
So if you have a drink on a tray, I go like this, and I give you, and you take your drink off my tray.
Okay,
What about food?
that sounds splendid, Ava. But let me
sounds obnoxious.
just throw out a hypothetical situation for you. I have 10 drinks on my tray, and I hold it out, and the first person to try and grab their drink knocks them all over, and then I got to remake all the drinks. Pain in the ass. The whole thing about this is it's going to be a giant pain in the ass, no matter what the solution is. It's going to be a giant pain in the ass. So,
and then you're going to have Karen that's like, excuse me, I have been waiting 25 minutes for my Caesar side salad.
2 minutes.
Like, hey, thanks, Karen.
Do you understand, Karen, that I have to sanitize, I have to change my gloves, I have to make sure the chefs are touching your shit. And then,
She doesn't care.
not only that, but when I'm leaning over to hand this tray to you, I have to lean closer to you.
Right.
Which, you know, people
within
are,
the 6 feet.
I mean, obviously, so
this.
she can see your cleavage. Like, that's the whole point of that. You want that 20%, don't you?
Not really, because I have to wear a denim shirt that buttons.
All the way up.
What? You don't have it buttoned. You don't have it buttoned below your bra line.
Running upstairs, outside of the Via, and in the dining room.
Well, you're also doing like somewhat fine dining, not fine dining.
It is not fine dining. We
it's
serve
like-
burgers.
I know, but it's like it gives like the impression of like it being like a nicer establishment.
Hot kosher.
Yeah, hoity-toity.
We used to wear flannels and jeans. Now we have to wear black. You know how fucking obnoxious it was? Last summer, I was running around the Via in 90-degree weathers in a flannel shirt.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
But I love black. I'm a fan of black because it's slimming. I always wear black, like.
How long have you worked in the industry? That's why you
It just,
really like black.
cuts down the, makes you look fit and trim, even when you got a dad bod like me. Like, I can't complain. I like the all black look. It's cool. Plus, it just shows you, like, a little piece of my soul going, I hate you. I hate you all. I love you. I'm pretending to love you. I love you, but I hate you, really.
That's another conversation. Like, working in the service industry, you're such a people person, and you're so friendly, and you're so bubbly and outgoing.
Yep.
And, like, some people are kind of like, you meet people that aren't service industry people, and they're, like
what?
kind of terrified of you because you're all, like, in their face, like, hey, da-da-da-da, and I'm a million miles a minute. And you can see, and they step back, and they're slightly freaked out, like, wow, you're a lot to handle.
And then there's the people that, like, you're killing them with kindness and you're being super nice, and they're going to nitpick every single little thing and just be a total Karen to you. And you're like,
There's
oh my God,
special
I'm
place
just trying
in
to do
hell.
my job.
Yeah, right?
Like, leave me alone.
Very
gotta be so
special place in
rude.
hell.
Oh, yeah. There's a special place in hell for people who are obnoxiously rude to servers for no reason. Like an extra ring really close to the hot center.
That's another thing is those people, we're working at limited capacity. Those people are going to be coming in there. And if you're going to plan on camping or not tipping every bit of 20%,
Yeah.
like, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I know.
Now you're fucking with my money. Because you want to sit here for 3 hours and leave me $13 on an $80 check or something.
I am
$10 on 80, like, no.
I am happy to see that they're like expanding people's patios and stuff so people can sit outside, especially the places that didn't have patios before.
Right.
So, like, it is going to open it up for them to be able to have a little bit of extra cash flow coming in. They're making good money doing that, but it's like if you're walking out to a patio and you have to go back inside to get your food, or you have to get back inside to get the drinks and everything for people, and you have people asking for more of this and more of that, that's a lot for you to handle. And like people don't even realize that. They're just like, fuck that, I want my shit right now. And it's
that's when you show them, you're like, yo, it's not duck season, it's rabbit season.
It's
like,
rabbit
I'm hopping
season,
around like
dog.
a bunny. You need to pay me. We need that money. We've been out of work for 3 months. If you're going out to the bars and you're asking for a million things, you better make it rain.
I did drive by a couple of bars today. I expected them to be slammed, and they were not.
Yeah.
So, hey,
There's a
good
lot of
for you
people
people
so
that are
scared.
staying at home. I totally understand. I also stayed home today, but the people that are going out and everything, like, good for you too. I'm happy that there's people in working, they're making money. That's awesome. For me personally, I'm just kind of like, I think I'm going to wait it out, see what happens.
So she'll put, like, the entire server's schedule staff on for tonight.
Everyone.
Like literally, it's like all hands on deck. Everybody needs. This is the message from our
Oh, of
all
course.
hands on deck. Everybody needs to give me completely open availability.
Yep.
Like, I'm
Yep.
sorry, I
Yep.
have 2 pandemic jobs. I can't help you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. I've worked for places like that too. They're like, so we got nothing for you for like 3 months. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, guys, like you need to be available 60 hours a week. We're going to get slammed. We're going to be crazy.
I
And
was
then you're like,
begging for a
"We're
third day at this job for like since September. So I
Right.
was only part time, and all I wanted was 3 days. But I couldn't get that third day, and now they're like, "Oh, we need availability." And also, one of the things I feel really bad for is like I know some of those people were on unemployment, and they want their unemployment, so they're asking to come back underemployed.
Right, of course.
Underemployed, and the manager,
Hook me up.
the owner, was like, "No. Also, if you tell us that you're not coming back full time and you were a full time worker, we will report that to the unemployment office." I'm sorry, that is a huge, huge dick move.
Yeah.
Of course.
Dick.
Because you don't
Gigantic
have to.
dick.
Because if they wanted to, they could underemploy everybody, let everybody collect their little bit of extra money and be cool, and everybody would be happy. The customers would be happy. The business would thrive. Yeah, that's not cool to do it
Well,
that
with
way.
everyone being
But-
50% minus social, but it's like,
Yeah.
We got a loan. Apparently, there's like a
Yep.
PPA or something.
Yeah, most of them did. Most
And
restaurants that are
according
opening
to
back
like
up did.
one of the server texts, and I don't know how true it is, but according to one of the texts I saw in our server feed, was that like the restaurants have to. Hold on, you guys talk. Let me see if I can find
she's
it.
gonna
Well,
look it
here's
up.
what I want to say. Here's what I want to say to you, Ava. Like, I'm pretty sure that you just like dumped gasoline all over the bridge and lit the fire and threw the match behind your back. You're like, I am not coming back ever, 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 because you're putting everybody on blast. And I respect that. That's totally cool. Like, you're
They're
being
getting
honest.
on blast.
You're
They're
being
fine.
totally honest.
They're
You're
fine.
definitely putting them on blast, though. You're definitely putting them on blast. I'm just saying that. But hey, I never worked there. I don't know. That's cool. It's good. It's all good.
I mean, how many people are really watching this that work there?
Thousands.
There's
You don't
a lot of
realize,
people watching, right? Well,
yeah.
there's not a lot of people watching, but there's
Thousands.
people watching that are all in the service industry.
That's fine.
But you know what? We all talk about it behind everyone's backs anyway.
Exactly.
We talk about the shit that our employers do and
And I
everything like that.
also said that they were really great, that they found
She's trying to save
open with
face
how
now.
great they were.
And then the backpedaling starts.
Listen, you cannot sweep up
Whoops,
the
I love
ashes of
that
your
place.
burnt bridge, okay? That bridge is already burnt.
Well, whatever,
You
I'm burning
cannot-
bridges. As I said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
This is nothing that like servers and bartenders don't go to the bar after every single shift and say, you know, to their coworkers. There's I can't tell you how many times I've quit my job to my friends at the bar after a shift and then gone in the next day like nothing ever happened. Like, hey,
I've
done
glad
that.
to be here. What's going on, guys? Like, last
Oh, I
night
know
you
plenty of
hated
people
this
who have
place.
been fired or like straight up quit, and then they're just like back
No, I
at it the
didn't.
next day. They're like, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
Yeah, like, no, I didn't.
I don't
didn't
remember
quit. What are
saying
you
that,
talking
so it
about?
doesn't count.
I was drunk. I drank a fucking thermos full of margaritas.
The GM's like, you told me to go fuck myself in the ass with 7 fists
Anybody
last
to go
night.
fuck themselves.
You're like, no,
I said that
didn't, bro.
Susan Mueller
No, I
talked for
didn't."
an hour and a half about sanitation.
I know, but we're saying that like people will like quit and be like, "Yo, fuck you!" Like, I never want to come to this place
Hate
again.
this
And then the
place.
next day they show up for their shift, and like the managers will totally let them clock in
Yeah. Oh,
and
totally.
continue working.
Right.
And then you expect them to be like, "Oh, I respect my manager." Like, no, nobody respects you. You let me just piss all over you.
Yep.
And as far as me throwing the owner under the bridge, he sent that in a company-wide email.
So there you go. I mean,
Those Max, Social, Comos, and Gus's all know this.
he might as well have taken out a front page in the New York Times. You know, that's
Yeah,
the way
right.
I see
I'm
it.
not
Ava, I'm
putting anybody
with
out
you.
there.
I'm always on the worker side, though.
All right.
Power to the people.
Ready? Here, I found the text. I would imagine they got a PPE loan or PPP loan, so they don't need a couple things or less of it will be forgiven. 1, they need to maintain or surpass their full-time employee headcount, which would make sense as to why they want us all back full-time.
Sure.
2, they need to prevent anyone from earning more than 25% less than they were earning before the shutdown.
Right.
If they have less full-time employees and and or people making more than 25% less and they were before less of the loan, their loan will be forgiven.
Right.
It would have been nice if they were straightforward, rather than lying to us about keeping us unemployed. But I'm not surprised.
It just makes sense from a business standpoint. I see the owner's point of view on this for sure. It's like they want to follow the rules and to the letter of the law so that they don't get fucked on their loan. Totally makes sense to me. Like, I get it. But like, if you can take care of your employees too, do it. Come on. They're taking care of you.
I mean, telling everybody that you have to go back full time, like, it's you do or you don't, and if you don't, I'm going to fuck you, is like.
Well, here's my thing. Like, I didn't collect a dime of unemployment this whole time. I did not get a $1,200 stimulus check. I don't get any of that shit. I had to go.
How did you not get a stimulus check?
I did not get a stimulus check because I do not get stimulus checks.
Oh.
I'm off the grid, baby. I'm off the grid. They don't know about me.
See, I got laid off of 3 jobs and denied unemployment. So I did not collect unemployment throughout this whole fucking pandemic either. Yep. I got 2 unemployment pandemic jobs because that's what we people do.
I hustled. I used my contacts and I hustled, and I had other jobs that I used to work and lined up. And so I just went and worked, and thank God that I was able to. Like, I'm super, super thankful that I was able to earn some money during this whole crisis, because I would have been screwed if I was relying on the government. Thank God I wasn't relying on it.
And you too. I know that you had your thing.
Well, I did have an issue. I figured it out finally and everything, so we're all good. But the thing is that, like, the guy that I work for, his name is Mark, he is fucking amazing.
Mike McConnell.
He literally, like, reached out to me individually to, like, make sure that I was good. He was like, hey, just so you know, I got the paperwork for unemployment. I sent it back. He was, like, making sure that I was aware of everything he was doing. And, like, honestly, it's been a great experience working there. And I really did not expect to, you know, have somebody, like, kind of look out for me like that. I haven't had that in a while.
No, he's amazing.
And he really is.
Question for you. Did you feel like that, you know, this was the 3rd casting couch and you finally, like, hit pay dirt?
You know what? It was like when I did unemployment, I was denied 3 times, and I was like, that's it.
Did
like,
you get the PUA, Lauren?
Yeah, I got the PUA finally. So I was denied 3 times because it said that I didn't make enough money, which is weird because I did, which means it actually brings me to another question about something that we were talking about. But it was saying that I didn't make enough money. So part of the thing that I wanted to know about with what she was reading, where it said that they had to make no less than, like, or they couldn't make less than 25% of what they made before.
Right.
What happens when a place that you work at is under-reporting how much you make?
Right.
And when you sit there and somebody says, oh, you can make 25%, then it's like, oh, you said I made $300 a month, where in reality I was making, you know, $4,000 a month. Yeah. Right. And so now you're saying that it's okay to just pay me $75, and it's like, that's not okay.
Here's what it comes down to, ladies. Here's what it comes down to for me. I much prefer working at a bar or restaurant that has you claim all of your tips. I'd rather claim all my tips. Like, let's just be honest with it. Let me claim it. Let me claim it all. And I don't expect a paycheck.
Okay, but I've worked at places where I claim all of my tips, but then when they report them incorrectly.
See, my point is, like, where it's, I punch in the numbers, let me tell you how much I'm making. That gets reported to the IRS. The IRS knows how much money I'm making. Okay, I'm totally fine with that. Let me be a bartender. Let me make my good money, and I'll tell you what I'm making and stuff like that. That way, when shit like this comes up, you can go, no, listen, I'm making this much. Also, when you want to, like, take out a loan to buy a house, you can go, this is how much I'm making per week, per month, per year, blah, blah, blah. It's just better in the long run for all of that. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bartenders and servers. Like, if you want to work a job where you get paid shitty wages but, like, really good tips, you have to report those. So, you know, that's just the way the world works. And
well, that's the thing, is that I worked at a place where I record all of my tips. I report it into the actual computer, and then I would get my check and look at it and be like, okay, so you saw what I've reported, and then you took half of that and actually reported it, or sometimes even less. Oof. And it ends up fucking you over, like, in the long run. Like, you might be getting money, like, you know, you actually might get a paycheck for $20 instead of a void check or 4 cents or something like that. But in the long run, it's really not helping you because you're not paying as much into like your unemployment insurance, if you even are paying into that, as well as like what you get back from your taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah, like when I started bartending, seriously, I didn't get taxes back at the end of the year.
Right.
I didn't make enough money. Well, and that's the other problem is that if you're working at a place that's doing high volume and they're making good money, they need to pay you $7.50, $8 an hour, so that every week your taxes get taken out of your check, but you also get like 10 or 12 bucks just to let you know that your taxes are being covered. Because if you work at a place where they pay you $2.50, $3 an hour, and you're making shit tons of tips and they report it all, then your taxes eat it all up and then you end up owing at the end of the year. That's not cool either.
This is
like,
what
bro,
happens at
I'm
social,
not
and
working.
I'm convinced that they over-report our tips. So like I'm on the opposite end of yours.
I've been there too.
Social over-reports our tips.
I'll be right back.
Because as I said, I was only working like 2 shifts a week, but somehow, I made $3,000 on this paycheck. What?
$1,500 a day?
I average $150 a shift there. I'm working 2 shifts a week.
I've also worked at places where like no matter what you made, they claim that you made $100. So it's like if I worked all day long and I only made $50 because we were slow, they still said I made $100. However, if I worked and I made $400, they said I made $100. So it's
honestly, it's kind of a touchy subject in our line of work, but I honestly believe in my heart that like the service industry would be a lot better off if it was unionized. It would honestly like start working out better. It would take a lot of grinding and hard work and tears and people going, this isn't fair and fuck this and blah, blah, blah. But if it was a union like the auto workers union, you could do it right. You could do it fair. And it would honestly be better for everybody. You would have health benefits. You'd have insurance. You'd have 401k. You would get paid a fair wage. You'd still make your tips. You'd be able to save up for a house. You'd be able to do all kinds of stuff that you can't do now in the service industry.
I could never buy a house. I could never buy a volatile income.
They need to be unionized because it's one of those areas where like everybody just does whatever they want. Like, oh, we'll do it this way. Oh, we'll do it that way. It's like, no, a union will organize it all and put it into like, this is how everybody does it.
What about the ROC?
I mean, there's, again.
Do you know who the ROC is?
Yeah, but you're going to have people kicking and screaming and fighting the whole way. That's not the point. The point is that like the system is fucked. It needs to be reworked. The best way, the easiest way in my mind, is to unionize.
They need to pay a steady $8 an hour on top of your tips.
Well, again, if you had a union, that would happen.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I completely agree with that. I would totally join a union if that was the case.
Yep.
I have no problem with that. But like, how would they go about with like, would they have a say in whether or not people keep their own tips, or if it would be like you are splitting with everyone, or?
Well, so let me tell you. Let me go out in the backyard, dig up the bones of Jimmy Hoffa, and I'll ask him what he thinks about it. You know, fuck. If I could be a union leader, I would. I think it would be a good gig. And I think, you know, I'm a pretty fair and equitable guy. I wouldn't be ripping anybody off. I could probably do good at that. Do I want to undertake that? Is that my passion in life? I don't know, maybe. Fuck. Who wants to join a union? Go to our webpage or our Facebook page and fucking raise your hand.
What worked for me with all of that was I always had an hourly day job. And so I was off work by noon, I'd go home, take a nap, and then I'd go to my night job, right?
Yep.
So I got like this $800 paycheck on the night, got my cash tips, you know, I was like weekend, whatever. Cool.
And also your taxes are taken care of. Your taxes are taken care of because the day job pays for the fucking night job's taxes. You don't have to worry about taxes and shit like that. That's the best of both worlds, honestly. Yeah.
But then you, like with social, for example, I would pick up hostessing shifts. They were down to hostess. It's $12 an hour. I'll take that. Okay. But then I'd be like, you're in the rears. So I just worked a shift for free because my server wages just ate up all of my money that I worked on this hostessing shift. So now here's the problem with this. It's the pandemic. Now we have a sanitation rule, which all the servers get one sanitation shift a week. Well, on that
'Cause
one
it's
sanitation,
only fair to
which
make
could be a
everybody
Saturday
pitch in.
night, you're stuck making $12, but you're in the rears. So there's you're working for nothing on a goddamn Saturday night.
Ava, honey, you're preaching to the choir. COVID has decimated our industry. It has completely wiped out our industry, and we have to rebuild it brick by brick and figure out the rules as we go along. It's insanity. It really is. That's why we're talking about it tonight. It is insanity. All we can tell our customers is like, we miss you. Thank you for coming back. Please throw $100 bills at us when you see us next. Like, that's
All
what
$100
$100
bills.
stimulus. Tell me that you saved some of it, please.
All that unemployment money you got. I know you got some hundreds.
It's gotta be something.
You know, it's
Just please, and I'm sure, like, I don't know who's watching the show, but like if you're going out, just know that your servers are struggling. Know that they're hot. Know that the masks and the gloves and the aprons is not helping anything, and know that your food's gonna take a little bit longer because there's different steps for sanitation. And just make sure you're tipping accordingly for these servers that are out there risking themselves.
well, and also just know that if you're a douchey guy who came in to see that hot girl, you can't see her mouth, so you can't tell her to smile. But if you were gonna tell her to smile, go fuck yourself anyways. All right, nobody wants to hear that shit.
Even if I'm not wearing a mask, don't tell me to smile.
Right. Even if you're tipping me 40%, don't tell me to fucking smile. Right.
Half the time I'm just like focused on what I'm doing, and it's like I'm not. Usually the time that I'm not smiling, because I'm like pretty bubbly in general, but it's like the second that I'm like in the middle of like 6 deep at the bar and I'm trying to like run and get shit done, I'm not going up to every person. Hi,
What's
what can I do
up?
for you? I'm
Hey,
like,
cutie.
what do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And if you don't tell me what you need, I go,
Next.
okay, next. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, but I was here. I don't give a fuck. I have very limited time.
The worst was when I worked at Grasshopper. Those little girls, they would come up to the upstairs and be like, "Well, do you have how much is? No, honey, what do you want?
Tell me what the fuck you want.
How the omakase bartending on the top floor got started. I'm like, you know what? You like fruity? Great. Vodka? Cool. Give me a minute. I'll be back. And I would come back with something and I would give that to them.
Right.
Yep. Quick.
And then it became a thing. And then they'd be like, Ava, make me something. I want cherry vodka. I'd be like, done. And lo and behold, that's how it happened. It was fun though.
That is how it happens. Listen, just remember, guys, the reason that the hot bartender is flirting with you is because you are a customer and she wants your money. If she wanted to take you home and bang you, she would let you know. All right? So don't even fucking bother asking her, because if she wanted you, she would tell you and bring you home with her. I'm just saying. She's being nice to you because you're a customer.
I do that though. Like I really
Of course, we all do.
I really just enjoy people.
I do as well. And I'm
but
nice to female customers.
I've met some seriously cool people. I go home with more girls' phone numbers at the end of the night than any dude in that bar. Just saying.
You need to come. We need to open up a bar and have you come work at it. And you can get all the girls'
Exactly.
numbers for me. That'd be
I
perfect.
get all the numbers.
You're like, hey, that's the owner,
"Girl,
Rennie. What do you think of him? Is he cool?
Let me know. You can come fucking party up at my bar."
Exactly. And we'll be like, it's rabbit season.
Yes, bartending.
Rabbit season.
Hey, I guess my dog's coming up here now. So.
It's bartender season. The puppy is in here. All right. Here's what's going to happen. Remy needs to go get a beer. I know this is like unprecedented, right?
But wait,
Halfway
Remy.
through.
No. You need to
Yeah?
stop. And you need
No.
to tell me. I know you're drinking IPA, but what are you drinking?
You tell me I don't need a beer.
No,
an
what are you
IPA.
I want to know what you're drinking.
An IPA.
What IPA? Is it Bell's? Is it Unity? Is it?
It's
anyway,
kind of a
listen.
it's kind of a dirty word in Detroit these days.
Oh my!
Like,
Oh no!
oh.
Founders. Ooh.
I know. And they did something awful like
Founders.
6 months ago.
Founders, Centennial.
Centennial IPA.
I know. Like nobody drinks Founders anymore because of the awful thing that they did. There was like systemic racism all through their corporation. And I was like, dude, I don't want to support that company. But honestly,
But did they release KBS?
It was really a good deal on a 15-pack of some tasty beer. And I was just like, you know what? Sorry, social justice. I got to get drunk. Sometimes you just got to get drunk cheap, right? All right, so you two are going to come up with a really funny story, and I'm going to be back in like 30 seconds. Good?
Okay. Yeah. Ava, tell us a funny story about your bartending experience.
Funny story.
Anything ever happened to you that was like, I can't, like you got home and you were like, I cannot believe that happened. Like, I cannot believe it.
So once upon a time, I used to work at a bar in Hampshire.
Okay.
It was called Capo Lounge. Capo Lounge was closed down. I worked there for 2 years. I was the head bartender there. Capo Lounge was closed down because they were running guns out of the basement. I mean, like a police chief lost his job. Like, it was a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Gangster.
None. We were Albanian owned, and my boss was the coolest motherfucker ever. Albanians are crazy. Don't ever let anybody tell you anything differently. What?
Oh, I have lots of crazy Albanian friends, and I love them.
Oh my God.
It was in Hampshire.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to tell this story, Ava.
Okay, go on.
There were so many crazy things. That was probably the craziest bar I ever worked at. There was one night we had like this rap party, whatever, and everybody was dancing, and this guy started dancing on this girl, but it was this other dude's girl, and they got to fighting, and then guns got taken out, and then my boss runs up behind me. Mind you, I just got out of the hospital for my brain injury. Okay. I was in a really bad car accident. I was in the hospital for like 6 months.
Was the car accident your fault?
No, I was a passenger in a vehicle that flipped 4 times. Snowy weather, no other cars. Sorry, on a serious note, but like it was very serious. Like I almost died. But so mind you, this is my first day like back to work after all of this horrific shit. I mean, I was paralyzed. I was in a coma. I was on a ventilator. All of it. I just go back to work. I think it was like maybe my second or third, maybe first weekend. I don't remember. So these 2 dudes get to fighting. These girls all start fighting, and then guns get pulled out, and then my boss comes running up on me, shoves me down by my head, goes, "Get down," and takes his gun out and just stands there like this. What the fuck? So,
did you feel safe and
did it
protected?
de-escalate from there, or
yeah, yeah. We got shut down for gun running. Okay, that's part of it.
Gun running. It's fucking Sam Crow.
Listen,
up in this bar.
I think we need to rewind the tape like at least 45 seconds and just put allegedly in front of this all.
Yeah,
allegedly. I'm no lawyer, but I've seen Better Call Saul, and we should probably say allegedly just to make sure. Like,
but yeah, it was
that's
really a very fun
heavy times.
That's insane. I've never had anything like that happen. But I did have at a bar I worked at once. I don't know the idea of exactly what happened because I was bartending, but all I know is that I saw people being pushed up the stairs. We were in a basement. They were being pushed up the stairs for something that a guy did, and his girlfriend pulled out pepper spray and pepper sprayed like down into the basement.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst experience ever. Like we're all like coughing, trying to like get the fuck out of there. It was so bad.
Or what about the time that Grasshopper took over what is that, 350 Terrace?
Oh, 350 Terrace.
And we got raided?
No, it wasn't 350.
What
it
is
was,
that?
Annex,
yeah. We got raided.
It was during movement weekend. They were raiding everyone. So like, you know, they come in and it's like 4 a.m. and yeah. This bitch just literally like
I jumped the
bar and took off. And
I was on probation.
Suddenly showed up.
That's honestly
showed up 4 hours later. Like, hey, can I get my money?
Honestly, though, Ava, that's seriously that is the best move you can do. Because okay, you guys are new school. You guys are talking about 350 Terrace. You guys are talking about the Annex. You guys are talking about all these new places. I was at a raid at the Red Door. So that we're talking like 90s, early 90s.
I know this.
Old school.
I'm
you know
40.
the Red Door.
I know all these places.
Everybody knows the Red Door, right? And so I'm in there. There's like happy gas balloons and coolers of beer to DJ and all these rooms and whatever. And all of a sudden, a bunch of guys with fucking masks and M16s come running in with bulletproof vests and Detroit police badges, and everybody gets a
God.
fucking ticket for trespassing, and it's all just a money grab. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But the people who got away were, when the raid starts, you run. You get the fuck out of there as soon as you can. And if they don't catch you, you don't get a ticket. Everybody they can round up, they're going to give a ticket to. But if you get away, you're fucking cool. So smart move, Ava. I'm with you on that one. I learned my lesson.
So my best friend Becky and I, we went to a party that was, I think it was called Shazam.
Shazam!
Yes. There
It
was
was
a party
Shazam.
called Shazam.
It was Night Sneak ran this party, and they did it out of Bert's warehouse.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we get there.
That wasn't that long ago.
Well, this was probably, I mean,
Like maybe 5
it was when I was still working at Necto. So it was kind of long. It was like right when they first started doing Shazam. So Shazam always fell like the week of or the week after my birthday. And this one, it happened to fall on my birthday.
Right on.
So I know a couple people that ran Night Sneak and stuff. So they helped me out with some tickets. Me and my friend Becky, we were working together at the time at Necto, and we both got it off. So we went out for my birthday. We were like, let's go out and have a great time. We get there, and like, I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that we were dancing together. She walks over with this giant glass of tequila, and she was like, you do half, I do half. So we're pouring them into these glasses, and we're just like shooting these back. We're like fucking wasted. We're like, yeah. And as soon as we like, literally, we were like pulling the drink down, and it's like, everyone moved to the side of the building. And her and I just look at each other like, wait, what? And so they were like, everyone who's 21, go to this side. Everyone who's under 21, go to that side.
Yeah.
So we went to the side, obviously, that we were 21. They basically just like checked our ID, and then we were allowed to leave. Everyone else,
you didn't get a ticket?
we didn't get tickets. No.
Lucky.
No. It wasn't even 2 a.m. It was literally like maybe 12:30. Like,
underagers?
it was underagers. Yeah. So like, if you had your ID, you were over 21, you were allowed to leave, no problem. So her and I like left there, but we were like, what just happened? We took a night off work. It's not even 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, we can literally go anywhere right now. I don't remember exactly what we went. I think we went to like a house party afterwards, but I just remember that like, as we took our shots, and then we were like, yeah, we're gonna party, like, cheers. No. Yes, we're gonna have such a good time, we're gonna get wasted, take our shot, set it down, everyone get on the side of the building. Like,
Price is Right, sad trombone. Boom, boom,
I was like, thank God I didn't pay for my ticket, though. Like, I would have been fucking livid if I paid for a fucking ticket.
Dude, you want to talk about livid? Go with your friends to the Red Door at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're having a good time. You're drinking some beers. All of a sudden, there's a cop with a fucking mask on and an M16 in your face, like, freeze, motherfucker, put your fucking hands on the wall. And you're like, whoa,
I'm not doing that.
And they're like, oh, by the way, here's a $100 trespassing ticket. Like, fuck you, dude. And you have to pay it, otherwise it's a bench warrant.
Never been ticketed either.
I will say that one of the more funnier raids that I was in, there used to be a warehouse, I don't remember the venue. There was a bunch of school buses in the back, and they would always turn the water. Do you know what venue I'm talking about?
I know exactly where you're talking about.
Always turn the fucking water off, and there was a hole in the wall.
Fucking warehouse district, yes.
And the wall was tarped where the hole was. Well, my girlfriend was running the tank, so the party got raided. They grabbed the tank, and we crawled in the hole.
Yeah,
and here
because...
we were crawling in the wall, dragging this fucking tank. I don't even do gas, mind you, but we're dragging this tank. We get out, and we had to like army crawl under the school buses, and then we just ran ass down the street.
Oh my God.
The whole time, like, fuck the police. Fuck them.
Gotta go. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure we were at the same rave at one time, Ava. That's
oh my God, it was the worst. There was another one.
Man.
I was on the west side of the state. I was in like Grand Rapids Technology or some shit.
So many of them. There used to be so many back in the day. Just like old buildings, like they were like pop-up concerts. Like, you might go to a rave, you might see Prince. You know, you never fucking know.
Hey, my
I see
sister.
dead animal heads because that's what happened when they turned the lights on. They were dead animal heads. We were in like a Elks Lounge or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
My sister, she went to a rave one time, and this was back in the 90s. I mean, this was like when raves were really a thing.
Yep.
And like real raves. And she went to one, and I don't remember the story. I'll have to have her on one day, like even just for 5 minutes, just to tell the fucking story because it's hilarious. But she's fucked up. She's like, you know, on ecstasy, whatever. She's having a bad time, so they put her like in a room to like have her calm down. And she's like in this room, and there's these guys, and they're all like videotaping her, and she's like, "What the fuck? Get the fuck away from me!" And then she ends up like being cool with them, and finds out that it was fucking D12. I was like, what? Hung out with D12? You're like, have all these like they're like videotaping her, and they're like, look at this bitch. She's like fucked up right now. And
she's like, are they gonna carve me up and sell my insides? Like, am I gonna fucking end up in like a fucking horror movie or something? It's like, no, bitch, we're D12.
Am I gonna end up in an abandoned house or something?
She said that she ended up like, you know, calming down and was like, hey, these guys are really cool and partying with them, and it was D12. I was like, damn, only you would like not even know that you're hanging out with D12. I would definitely know if I was hanging out with D12.
Raise a glass, raise a toast to the gentleman in D12. Detroit
Thank you,
loves
D12,
you.
for having a great time with my sister in
And
not a sexual way.
Exactly. You could have been jerks. Instead, you were fucking awesome guys. Good for you guys.
Thanks, D12.
Oh my, this has been quite a conversation. Quite a roundabout conversation.
Yes. Okay, so what about other raves that you've been to? She used to go raves.
I went to a lot of raves.
Me too.
I was at the theater when it burned down. And everybody started chanting, "The roof is on fire."
The roof is on
fire. It literally
fire.
was on fire.
The roof.
You don't need no water.
The roof is on fire.
Burn.
Yeah, no, I was there.
Burn, motherfucker, burn.
Did you guys ever go
I
to the
also
bank?
was in that same venue before I ate my leg, like my whole leg.
Did you guys
Your
ever
entire leg?
Did you guys ever go to the bank on Michigan Avenue?
I did not.
Right in between downtown
that
and
sounds
Southwest.
familiar.
The bank, yeah. It was an old bank that obviously they had turned into an after-hours nightclub because it had been abandoned for so long. And it was like a backdoor downstairs kind of thing in the basement of this old bank. But yeah, another place that like probably got raided all the time, was a lot of fun before it got raided. And you meet some good people.
Let's go to the place that gets raided all the time.
The Packard plant.
That used to be the thing to do in Detroit. You know, it was like, what after? I mean, it still is. There's still plenty
Okay,
of
so just a really quick story, and I'm so sorry because I just remembered this. But I remember, like, I was maybe freshly 21, and a couple of my friends came over my house, and I was like, hey, I heard about this party. Like, somebody called me and told me, like, an address, and I was like, okay, we're going to, like, Google it. We're going to go. This is back when, like, Google Maps was a thing, so I had, like, the...
Oh, yeah, you had to
literally,
print
like,
the map.
Yeah, you had to print it out.
You had to call the info number, get the address, and then go back home and print out
so
a
I
map.
was like, okay, we're going to go.
Yeah, MapQuest, you're
and
like 50 pages.
A group of us, we all, like, got inside my car. We drive out there. It was, like, this fucking, like, decrepit, like, old, like, house factory theater. I don't know what it was, but it was bigger than a house, but it kind of had, like, multiple rooms and stuff. So I was like, all right. So we go in, we're like in there listening to these DJs and stuff. And I like walk into this room, and this is like after we've been there probably for a little while, you know, like not a big deal. Nothing's a big deal. I like look over and I see some people, and it's like BYOB, you know, so we're all like drinking our own beers and stuff. And I see all these people like, you know, just acting really weird and like heating up spoons and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, maybe this isn't the kind of place I want to be at. So I like gather my crowd and I'm like, time to go. And they're like, oh, okay, hold on. I want to say goodbye to these people. I want to say goodbye to that people. And I was just like, I'm going to my car and I'm leaving in 5 minutes. If you're not in my car, I'm leaving you here. So you got 5 minutes to wrap it up, bring it out to the car, right? So I go to the car. I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. probably been 10 minutes at this point. We're missing like 2 people. And I was like, dude, I've got to go. Like, I'm feeling not
Bouncing.
right about it. So I was like, I got to go. Thankfully, they both get in the car and I'm like, okay, let's go.
Oh, sweet.
And we start to drive. And as we're driving down the road, there's cops from every direction driving towards the car. So we just passed them. Like, they didn't stop us. But I looked behind me, like in the rear view, and every single road leading to that one place had cops driving down it with their lights on.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. I knew that shit was not right. I knew it. I was like, guys, I just saved your life. Like, we would have all been totally fucked.
You had
like,
that sixth sense going, girl.
I did. It was like, I looked around and suddenly I had a feeling and I was like, we got to go. Like, time to go. And everyone was giving me a hard time. Like, we just got here like an hour ago. You were the one that wanted to come to this party. I saw this person there and I really want to see them. Or this DJ hasn't gone on yet and I really came for them. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving in 5 minutes.
I'm gone.
Like, people are burning spoons. You don't need to.
Meanwhile,
exactly.
if they would have
stayed, I was like, this is the kind of party I want to go to.
If they would have stayed 2 more minutes, they would have been spending the night in jail. So thank you, Lauren.
Yep.
You're welcome, guys.
I will take those big old thank yous. You can send them over to my Facebook Messenger. I'll go ahead and accept those now 15 years later.
That's the best. Good for you, girl. Sometimes you have that intuition. You have to listen to it.
Listen, it was like one of those situations where like I felt fine the entire time. And then I saw one person
and then all of a sudden,
and I was like,
nope.
Gotta go.
And that's where I
sure
draw
as
the
shit,
line.
it was like, as we're driving out, I see all these cop cars and they have their lights on, no sirens, just lights. They're just going down the street. And I like look back and I notice that they're coming down every single street and they let us go right past them. I was like, okay, bye. Never coming back.
Can we talk
that, guys?
honestly? So that brings up a really good point, and I've got an awesome karma story to tell you guys right now. So I'm getting on the freeway, and I don't know if you know this, but people on the freeways in Metro Detroit are a little bit impatient. Let's just call them impatient, right? So I get on the freeway the other day, and I get up to speed. I'm going 70 miles an hour. I'm going the speed limit. I'm in the slow lane, and there's a guy in a Mustang behind me. And it's not a great Mustang. It's kind of a piece of shit, to be honest. And I know it's a piece of shit because when he gunned it and went around me, it was really fucking loud. Like, not cool loud, but like obnoxious loud.
Like,
so he guns it and he goes past me.
Muffler.
Again, I'm going 70 miles an hour. I'm doing the speed limit. So he flies around me, guns it. As soon as he does, in my rearview mirror, I see cop lights flash. And he was behind him and saw him do what he did. Pulled him over immediately for gunning it past me. And I was like, well,
yes. What a good
stupid
karma.
games, win stupid prizes.
Yes.
What can we say, buddy? Like, maybe get your muffler fixed and then pay that parking ticket or that speeding ticket. Sometimes karma just bites you right in the ass, you know? Like,
my friend said, you know it's a piece of shit because it's a Mustang.
Oh, somebody hits on Mustangs? Totally cool with me. I don't care. No loyalties.
Thanks for the comment, Nick. We love you.
We love you too. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, obviously, this piece of shit is a Mustang.
Also, he also said that your friends can send the thank you to your Venmo. Bail would have been pricey. So that's too. I will take that. Thank
You're
you,
fucking
Nick.
A right, man. Dude, that's worth $150 at least.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I saved ass.
Yes.
I literally went around and was like, hey, come with me. Time to
Or
go.
go to
If you
jail.
want to find another ride, go ahead and do that. If you have other people that are here that you know, fine. I will not force people to leave with me. But when I'm ready to go and it's my fucking car, time to go.
Yep. Rabbit season.
Otherwise, I'll just Uber. I don't care.
Duck season. Rabbit season.
COVID. No, COVID. There is no Uber.
Oh, there are no Ubers. That's so true.
Yeah.
No, there was no Ubers back then. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Try getting a hold of your friends on a Nextel. Broop, broop. Yo, bro. It's like walkie-talkie.
So where you at?
Oh my God.
Fucking
So true.
old school.
Virgin Mobile.
Man.
Virgin Mobile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Hold on. Let me pull out my razor. I'm going to text my friends on my razor.
I'm going to text you off my chocolate.
Super slim. Super cool.
It's so perfect.
Ava, I can't wait to go out and drink with you. Like, if you're not working in the
Oh my
bars,
God.
like, we definitely got to go hang out, right?
It's so true.
I think this has been a definite friendship, like, forged in the fires of Tales from the Barside.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We'll have her back on again.
I
For
have
sure.
seen some things in my ears. Honestly, in the service industry, I've worked in so many different types of environments. And
Oh,
so
we can
many
tell. Yeah, we know.
different things.
Yeah.
I
I
honestly,
peeped that about you right away.
it's almost molded me into the person that I am. And you know, I have a very timid boyfriend who's a psychologist, and we're very different. We complement each other perfectly. And like sometimes, you know, we talk and like one of the conversations we got into yesterday. What is that?
Birds.
That's me showing love for you and your
Yeah.
timid boyfriend who's in psychology. Like,
That's
that's a gorgeous
not
thing.
what I'm
You
doing
found
first.
your soulmate.
That's love right there.
Yeah, that's showing some love.
But one of the conversations we got into yesterday, you know, is he was like, you know, I went through my entire college career. He's got a master's, and he's like, I didn't really make friends in school.
Because you weren't a bartender, bro. Like.
And that's what I told him. He's like, you know, I'm
Right.
not really good at talking to people, and I'm like, it's really easy. Like you
It's
just
like
gotta.
we know how to make friends.
It's a thing.
Making friends
It's a real
is
thing.
cool.
Bartenders.
You make the
Bartenders do it.
money, we'll make the friends. You make the money, we'll make the friends, and then we'll all get together and party and have a big
Perfect.
fucking party. It'll be great.
It's like a perfect yin and yang. All right. Well,
Exactly. Oh my God,
I
this has
love you
been
guys.
one. This
was a
seriously
good
been
one.
one of the more fun Tales from the Barside during a very heady time that I can think of in recent memories. Ava,
Cheers to
a
you
pleasure to meet
guys.
you, my darling. Oh, Lauren, always a pleasure. Hey,
You know I love
go out
you.
to the bars, tip your bartenders.
Tip your
because they've
bartenders,
been
tip your
off
bar
work for
staff,
3
tip your
fucking
people.
months.
Also, if you have a story you want to share with us and about your experience working in the service industry or just hanging out with your friends, or we don't give a fuck, just something funny, send it to us at barsidetales@gmail.com. We love you.
See you guys next week.
Bye.